Okay, so something pretty remarkable just happened in Cairo. You've got these Palestinian factions, right? And they're often not on the same page, to put it mildly. Well, they just came together and signed a joint declaration. This thing lays out a unified vision for what comes next. So you have to ask, what did they actually agree on, and what does this all mean for the region? Let's break it all down. And that really is the central question here, isn't it? I mean, after days of talks, these groups managed to come out with one single document. But what's actually in this Cairo Declaration? What commitments did they make? And what demands are they putting on the table? So the whole thing was hosted in Cairo, with Egypt basically sponsoring the talks. The main goal? To get everyone on the same page, to create a single unified front for navigating what comes next with the ceasefire in Gaza. Now, before they get into the nitty-gritty, the declaration kicks off with some thank yous. And this is basically a clear nod to the diplomatic heavyweights who were involved. They thank the host, Egypt, and President El-Sisi. And they also make sure to recognize the crucial roles that both Qatar and Turkey played as mediators in this whole complex situation. But this is where things get really interesting. I mean, honestly, a little surprising. The statement gives an explicit thank you to U.S. President Trump for his efforts to support the Palestinian people. Now, given the, let's just say, complicated relationship between Palestinian leaders and that administration, seeing that name mentioned specifically, well, that's a detail that really makes you stop and think. All right, so with the diplomatic pleasantries out of the way, what's the actual plan here? The declaration lays out a pretty clear roadmap. You can think of it like a two-sided coin. On one side, you have what the factions have promised they'll do themselves, internally. And on the other side, what they're demanding from Israel. This table really spells it out for us. So, on the left, you've got their internal commitments. This is what they're promising to do themselves. They're pledging to uphold the ceasefire, and yep, there's that reference to President Trump's plan again. Super important here. They're also going to form a new committee for Gaza to try and unify their political system. Now, shift your eyes to the right. These are their external demands on Israel. They're calling for a total stop to aggression, opening up all the crossings so aid can get in, and a complete withdrawal of the Israeli army from Gaza. So that brings up a huge question. Who's actually going to run Gaza day to day? This is one of the most critical points the declaration tries to solve. It's proposing a brand new administrative body to take charge. So let's dig into what this committee is supposed to do. They're calling it the Transitional Palestinian National Committee. And its mandate? Well, it's huge. The whole idea is for this one group to immediately take over everything in Gaza. We're talking managing daily life, public services, the whole shebang. So the committee's job is broken down into three big steps. First, they assume total administrative control. Second, they get in there and manage daily life and all the essential services for the people. And third, and this is absolutely crucial for the long haul, they need to work with another group, which the declaration calls the Peace Council, to handle the massive task of reconstruction. But look, this agreement is about so much more than just managing Gaza. It's really pointing towards a much bigger political ambition, which is creating a single, unified Palestinian front to finally achieve those long-term national goals. And this quote, right from the declaration itself, just perfectly captures that ultimate goal. The stated aim is, and I'm quoting here, to move forward towards the unity of the Palestinian political system and independent national decision-making. In other words, this is all about political power and sovereignty. So what's this unified front for exactly? Well, the declaration lays out some pretty clear strategic goals. They want to defend Palestinian rights, stand up to any plans for West Bank annexation, and oppose the expansion of settlements. They also specifically call out addressing violations in Jerusalem. And all of this is pointed toward their one overarching ultimate goal, establishing an independent Palestinian state. So when you look at it, the Cairo Declaration lays out this incredibly unified, really ambitious roadmap. But you know as well as I do, a plan on paper is one thing. Actually making it happen on the ground, that's a whole different ballgame. And that leaves us with a million-dollar question, doesn't it? What are the biggest real-world hurdles that could stop this whole new vision from ever becoming a reality?